Year 9 today, we're dealing with something a lot of us sort of love to look at one level because it involves money and trying to make a profit. We all want to make a profit, we want to make money, don't we? But we need to be able to work out what sort of profit are we making. Now, I do want to go back. Last lesson, we looked at this idea of what's called the Unitary Method, where you find 1% if you're given a certain percentage, and from there you can find the whole amount, for example, 100%. You need to remember that because the questions we're going to do today will build on this idea. So you've got all these definitions that I'm giving you. A profit is made when we sell an item for more than it costs. Right? If you decide to sell tennis balls and you go and buy them for $1 a ball and you sell them for $2 a ball, you've made a profit, $1 per ball. Why did I choose tennis balls? It's just the first thing that came into my mind. A loss, though, is made when you sell it for less than it costs. They might say at the moment, in our supermarkets, for example, they sell milk often for less than it costs to produce that milk. But the supermarket looks at it and goes, if I get you to buy milk, then you buy a few other things and I'll make my money back on those other things. So they make an individual loss to make a greater profit. That's their theory. And we can then compare. And this is where percentages are really good. If I make a $1 profit on a tennis ball that only cost me $1, I've made 100%, all right? But I could sell, say, a cricket ball, which might cost me $30. If I sell it for $31, yes, I've made $1, but I've only made 1 out of 30, like 3% profit. I haven't actually made very much, all right? And when it comes to it, one of the big things you'll find is what's called the goods and services tax. What is the goods and services tax? How much is it?
10%.
10%, okay, in Australia. Other countries have different percentages, and it might be called something else, all right? So a VAT is a value-added tax, same concept. And so what it actually does is force, at one level, all of us to pay tax. You go to the shop and you buy something, it's got GST on it. And so it's not just dependent on me telling you my income, it's also dependent on whatever you buy. All right, let's just examples, because this is where the rubber hits the road. Let's begin with Dillip. I used to have a friend at school whose name was Dillip. I like the name, I think it's a cool name. But what he does, he buys Dillip's digital devices. And what he does, he buys laptops for $680 and then sells them for $949. And what we want to find is the profit on each laptop. So let's break our question up. Firstly, to find profit, it's the amount that you make above what you bought it for. So we do 949 minus 680. Now you can use your calculator if you want. Can someone tell me what this is with a calculator? Yep. 269, great. So he makes a profit of $269. That's part one. Part two, the percentage profit on the cost to 1 decimal point. Now this is where we sometimes struggle. Okay? We need to make sure, this question makes it easy because it says the percentage profit on the cost price. When we're working out profit, it's always on the cost price. So we want to find the percentage, basically, and I'll just write it as a shortcut, percentage of the profit, 269, out of, what was the cost?
680.
680, thank you. Out of 680 times 100%. All right, here's your calculator. What's his percentage profit? So, our percentage profit is 39.5%. That is to 1 decimal place. It actually came out that way, but I always like to be clear to 1 decimal place. All right? That's all we have to do for this question. Let's move on to the next one. Chloe's Clothes, end of season sale, jeans are discounted by 25%. What is the discount price of a pair of jeans marked at $148? So this is question 2. It's an end of season sale, and often you find that you go in and it says 25% off. So 25% off our jeans, that means we've got to take 25% away. So they're marked at $148. We just use the maths we've already been doing, but we're now applying it. 25% times 148. All you need to do is multiply, put that in your calculator and you'll get the answer. Now in my head, while someone's working it out on a calculator, I'm thinking it's about a quarter, 148 is close to 160, quarter is about 40, so it's a little bit less than 40. If I'm taking a little bit less than 40 off, it's going to be about $110 or something. $111. Great. Okay. So the pair of jeans are now sold for $111. I've got 2 more questions. Let's have a look at these 2. This should actually be example 3, shouldn't it? And example 4. So example 3. A TV system costs $864 after a 24% discount. What was its original price to the nearest dollar? This is where we've got to work backwards. All right? 24% has already been taken off. Now, let's do a little bit of work first. If 24% has been taken off, what percentage is left? All right, have a think. Just do some working. 100 minus 24 equals... I can hear someone whispering it.
70.
Excellent. So we've got 76% left. Be careful with this sort of question. So now we can do it, 864, and we're going to use that unitary method. 1% is equal, 864 divided by 76 will give us 1%. So someone with their calculator, yep.
11.
So
11.368.
368. I like to just leave it as the whole number if I can for now, because when I multiply it might make a difference. And when you're doing it in your calculator, you probably will. So then we do this 11.368 times 100. What do we get? Some of us were saying before, oh, there's a shortcut, Steve. Don't I just move the decimal point 2 places to the right?
Yeah.
Yes. So we're going to look up 1136.
0.8.
And is it just 0.80? Yep.
Yep.
According to our nod of the head. So the original price was $1,136.80.
That's a lot, so
That is a fair bit. Well, it's 24%. It's almost a quarter.
it's
That's quite good.
$300.
Yeah, you're right. Good work. Okay. Last question.
280.
The selling price of a lounge suite is $3,695
Oh.
with GST included.
So that's minus 10.
So they've already added the 10%. And what it asks me, how much of this price is the GST? So I need to find the 10%. But I cannot just find 10% this price. Because that is actually 110%. So if I'm going to find 1%, I've got to do 3695 divided by 110. All right? Because GST is 100% plus 10%. So it's equal to 110%. Be very careful with this sort of question. I think we often will like to go for the shortcut. You can't. So what is 3695 divided by 110? Someone needs to grab their calculator.
33.
Just 33? 33 point 590. Then we want to find 10%. Let me show you how much of this price is the GST. So we want to find the 10% amount. So we just need to do the 33.590 times 10. Okay, and we should be able to do that. It's $335.90. That is the GST component. All right, the original price was $3,359, but we just want the GST component. Year 9, I've been through a number of examples there. Just think carefully for each question. You might even go, I need to underline how much GST. All right? Get your key points. The 3695 with GST included. It may be worth just writing down those keywords, break it down. Notice I don't just jump straight to an answer. I show my working. And of course, I want to see your working as you now get in and practice, practice, practice.